There's a moment in life when nothing feels right anymore, but nothing new has formed yet. And people call that feeling being lost. But maybe you're not lost. You're between versions. There's a moment in life when nothing feels right anymore. Not wrong, not broken, just unfamiliar. What used to make sense suddenly doesn't. Places feel smaller. Conversations feel thinner. Even your own thoughts sound like echoes of someone you used to be. And people call that feeling being lost. But maybe you're not lost. Maybe you're standing between who you were and who you're becoming. And that space is quiet, an uncomfortable quiet, the kind that makes you question everything you thought you understood about yourself, because the old version of you no longer fits, but the new one hasn't arrived yet. So you stand there, between identities, between expectations, between stories that don't hold anymore. And it feels like confusion, like you took a wrong turn, somewhere you can't trace back. But growth rarely looks like progress when you're inside it. From the outside, people expect clarity. They want answers. They want labels. They want you to explain what you're doing and why you've changed. And you don't have any of that. You only have a feeling that the old path doesn't belong to you anymore. And that's terrifying, because certainty is comfortable. Even when it shrinks you, there's a strange safety in staying the same. Predictable pain feels easier to hold than unfamiliar possibility. So when you outgrow the version of yourself that once kept you safe, your mind reads it as loss. Loss of identity, loss of direction, loss of control. But what you're actually losing is a container that can't hold you anymore. And containers aren't meant to last forever. Some versions of you exist only to help you survive. And when that season ends, that version disappears, not because it failed, but because it finished its job. Standing without it feels like stepping into air. No structure, no certainty, just space. And space can feel like falling when you're used to walls. But space is where becoming happens. Quietly, in small realizations that don't announce themselves. You notice what drains you, what no longer resonates, what feels heavy for reasons you can't explain. Instead of forcing clarity, you sit inside uncertainty. That's where transformation lives. Not in answers, but in staying. There's grief here. Grief for who you were. Grief for the certainty you lost. And grief doesn't mean you chose wrong. It means something meaningful is ending. And endings are transitions. Most people run from this space. They rush to redefine themselves. Anything to escape uncertainty. But clarity can't be forced. It arrives when the in-between is allowed to breathe. This stage is not a mistake. It's evidence that something inside you is reorganizing. And reorganization is messy. It doesn't follow timelines. It only asks for patience. Even when patience feels impossible, because every real change begins with confusion, with doubt, with the feeling that something familiar no longer fits. And in those moments, you weren't lost. You were shifting, slowly, quietly, inevitably. So if you find yourself here, in this quiet in between, pause, breathe. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are becoming. You're not lost. You're between versions. And that's exactly where you need to be.